Hey there, it's Destro here. I haven't made a vlog in a while, but I'd just like to make a video in the form of something that you can probably respond to. So there have been a lot of vlogs going around in the form of like 10 things I like videos and memes. I'd like to do a vlog that's a sort of twist on that really, which is I'd like to talk about atmospheres. Atmosphere to me means a lot of things, but one of its main meanings to me is a place that evokes a really strong feeling or connection in you. They can usually be places you've been to in the past that have amazed you, or felt nice, or that have made you cry happy tears, or given you strong fear, or just left an unforgettable impression with you. Now these can be empty places, or they can be full places. It might be that you can't remember the places without the people you were with. It could be a moment in your life. It could be a place that you have stayed that has really sort of worked its essence into your mind. So when I talk about like a really ambient atmosphere that I've been to, it's something that kind of strikes you like a gut feeling, like something that makes you have adrenaline or really makes you remember it after you've left. There have been a few times like that in my life that I can instantly write down, like, you know, if I was writing a story or something, like I was trying to write NaNoWriMo last year, I just have these kind of scenes in my mind that I'd want to set in certain places that I've been to, and I think everyone has those. Yeah, there's something about it. You always remember like the colour of the place, you remember the smell, you remember how cold the air was. They're places you like to be, basically. Places that you've walked through on the way to somewhere else that you really would have liked to just stop at and stay. Here are 3 atmospheres that I am really taken with. So one of mine would be lying up on the high dunes in St Ives Bay in Cornwall, which isn't actually St Ives but is the bay. Lying on the high dunes up there at night, and you could look down on this massive beach, and it would be sort of twilight, so the stars would be just coming out above your head. You'd be able to see the city lights on the headland, and there was bats zooming around my head in between the kind of dune plants behind me. You could only just make them out, so you could hear the sea, and the sky would be really clear, and like everything below the horizon would be all kind of fuzzy and hard to make out. That's a really peaceful environment. Ah, little raccoon tail. Second memorable atmosphere would be laying out in the tent in the garden at night with my dad, or alternatively with my friends, listening to kind of cassette tapes of comedy shows and old music, and turn off the cassette tape sometimes and you sort of count the animal sounds, and you kind of smell the weird smell of the plastic of the tent canvas above you, hear all these owls and weird birds and try and guess what they were. That's a really cool environment that I remember pretty well. Third interesting atmosphere would be kind of a sad one, which is in our old house out in the garden we had it's like a mixture of a hammock and a garden chair, and in the summer I used to kind of lie back on it and lean it against the shed so it wouldn't kind of do a weird somersault and knock us off. But after I was... Meow. Hello? And I remember after I fell out with the kind of girl I liked at the time, I got really depressed and used to kind of lie back on this hammock right in the heat of the summer, and meow. I kind of used to lay back on this hammock thing after a really hot day. So I'd used to lie back on this hammock thing looking directly up at this tree that was over me, and it was sort of waving in the wind, and I had my CD player in listening to 9 Inch Nails, just kind of depressed out of my mind, There were probably tears. There was disturbances and paranoia from people walking around the garden, stuff going on with the neighbours, but I'd just kind of tune out and turn off and look at these trees above me. Also probably had hay fever at the time, which probably added to my misery. But at the same time, it's like a really memorable atmosphere. So, yeah. Those are my 3 atmospheres. Tell me yours. Also, if you genuinely have something to say, post me a video response, and that'll be really cool. Remy is trying to move my bag so she can climb up the chimney. But I've got my eye on her. Watching you. Beast. Rawr.